don't know. I don't have Sorry. Do you know?
No, you're good. You're still early. Chris, are we?
Yeah, we're good.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for being here. We've got a great crowd tonight. Appreciate that. We will call the meeting to order of the Granite City School Board of October 25th, 2022 to order, please. Roll call.
Stacy.
Here.
Benny.
Here.
Knogle.
Here.
Curran.
Here.
Nunn.
Here.
Wilmsmeyer.
Here.
Miss Leninger.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Fantastic. Thank you. We will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please, followed by an invocation given by Reverend Mark Lander. For those who do not wish to pray with us, you may step out and call at that time. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As many of you may know, a year ago, our community was struck with tragedy when Officer Timmons was killed. And that was just a year ago tomorrow. Yesterday, you know that we also suffered loss in this community. Even though it's across the river, it affects schools. And the sad loss of the student Alexandria Bell and also Jean Kahuchka. Both were killed. We know that more than ever before we need the protection of God. But I'm going to ask you first to pause just for a moment of silence as we remember these lives that were lost, as we grieve with these families. Would you join me in that pause? And now, our gracious God, we thank you for this community. We thank you for the dedicated administrators, the teachers, the support staff that educate our students. We thank you for each one of our students that bring such joy and accomplishment to us. We pray today more than ever for your peace and your protection to be upon our school district. We pray that you would keep away all harm, danger, and evil. And we pray that you would be honored. We thank you, Lord, in the midst of this tragedy that we have the opportunity tonight to celebrate the great accomplishments of our students. Lord, thank you for this bright moment that we have to honor these who have excelled. We pray that each one of our students would excel in all that they endeavor to do. We pray that your blessing would be upon this board as well. Give them wisdom tonight as they serve in a spirit of cooperation. We ask all of these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So much.
So, thanks again for being here, everybody. It's a lot of mixed emotions tonight with what Pastor Maynard had shared with us, the loss to our community a year ago and even as late as yesterday. We also have some good news tonight, and we're going to hear a lot of good news very shortly. But first on the agenda, we are swearing in a new school board member to fill the unexpired term of one of our board members who resigned a couple of months ago. So I would ask Susan Bryant to step up, please. And this is a swearing in for her to join us up here as a school board member. I don't know if I'm going to need these or not. I probably will at some point. I would ask that you raise your right hand, please. I, Susan Bryant, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the member of Board of Education of Granite City School District in accordance with the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois and the laws of the State of Illinois to the best of my ability.
I, Susan Bryant, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education of Granite City School District in accordance with the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the laws of the State of Illinois to the best of my ability.
I further swear that I shall respect taxpayer interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district assets.
I further swear that I shall respect taxpayer interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets.
I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board while respecting the privacy of students and employees.
I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board while respecting the privacy of students and employees.
I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting.
I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting.
I shall abide by majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels.
I shall abide by majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels.
As part of the Board of Education, I shall accept the responsibility for my role in the equitable and quality education of every student in the school district.
As part of the Board of Education, I shall accept the responsibility of my role in the equitable and quality education of every student in the school district.
I shall foster with the board extensive participation of the community, formulate goals, define outcomes, and set the course for the Granite City School District.
I shall foster with the board extensive participation of the community, formulate goals, define outcomes, and set the course for the Granite City School District.
I shall assist in establishing a structure and an environment designed to ensure all students have the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework.
I shall assist in establishing a structure and an environment designed to ensure all students have the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework.
I shall strive to ensure a continuous assessment of student achievement and all conditions affecting the education of our children in compliance with state law.
I shall strive to ensure a continuous assessment of student achievement and all conditions affecting the education of our children in compliance with state law.
I shall serve as education's key advocate on behalf of our students and our community school to advance the vision for the Granite City School District.
I shall serve as education's key advocate on behalf of students and our community's school to advance the visions for the Granite City School District.
I shall strive to work together with the district superintendent to lead the school district toward fulfilling the vision the board has created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skills, knowledge, citizenship, and personal development.
And I shall strive to work together with the district superintendent to lead the school district toward fulfilling the vision the board has created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skill, knowledge, citizenship, and personal development.
Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
And I promise I didn't write that, I didn't make that up. That was something we had to do. And Ms. Bryant, we'd ask you to join us up here at the table, please.
Wasn't much choice. They banished me down.
Sorry, no one's ever heard
Okay, again, congratulations, Ms. Bryant, we appreciate it, thank you so much. At this time, we'll go to item number 4, which is public comment. Is there anyone here tonight for public comment? Hearing none, I'll turn this over to Ms. Can, our superintendent, for some more good news tonight.
Tonight, obviously, we have some great GCSD9 athletes to honor. I think there's a lot of them. I think 34 of them, I think, tonight. Some of them might be sick, but I was pretty excited. So first we have our 8th grade baseball team and coaching staff to join us. So if the coaching staff could come up here for the baseball team, that would be great. I have, I'm going to read them off.
Guys.
So the coaching staff consists of head coach Scott Smalley, assistant coach Brandon Robinson, There we go. And then we're going to go into, if the volunteers give up their own time to work with this team, and I'm going to make sure everybody knows that, I think that really shows some commitment and dedication to these young athletes, so I really wanted to thank you for that too. So we have volunteer coaches, Mr., are you Don or Randy?
I'm Randy.
Okay, Mr. Randy Christie and Mr. Eddie Bradley. There we go. And there's thank you very much. And their time and commitment will definitely is demonstrated in the success of our efforts. So give them one more hand. And was the other one that's not here this evening. I'll give that to Mr. Sloan.
He had a dog pass away.
Oh no. That's as much of your family as. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to read through these athletes. We're very proud of this group of young men. I was fortunate enough to watch them play a couple of times, which was really cool. Totally impressed with some of the moves I saw. I'm a complete baseball fan, okay? I was statted for the baseball team when I was here in school, all 4 years. Something I really enjoyed. I coached with Joey Modica. I went with Mr. Modica, Mr. Champion, Mr. Patton, Mr. McKecken, Mr. Wojak, all those old names in baseball, but I got to be a part of that. So it was really fun to go out and watch you guys. I wish I could have been there more. The Roxana game was very impressive, just saying. So I wanted to make sure I did that. So I'm going to call you out, and I've tried to get your names correctly, but just yell at me if I'm wrong. So when I call your name, I have you come on up, and I'm going to hand you your certificate, okay?
Read the through. I don't think they're in the same order. If you want to read just the certificates, there you go.
But now, so just,
Yeah.
Right, okay, so I was gonna read them off. So, Ben Wilson, come on down. Ben.
Did you say that right?
Did I say Ben Wilson? That one was a little tricky. You would hold it up and I'll have to take the pictures or go to get pictures. I don't know your mom at
hold on.
all. I don't even know who that lady is.
Here, get up there. We'll take a team photo
Okay,
after.
so come down here. Okay, Dave. Okay, the line challenge. Landon Badalamenti. Did I get it right?
He's not here.
He's not here. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Okay, good. I'm going to hand those to Yay. Andrew Willeret.
You're not here.
Also, that was an easy one. Callan Tuff Bradley.
Oh yeah.
So you could be a little shy. Should I make it a really big deal and you stand up after you take some pictures? Does anyone
There you
come
go.
down closer and get a picture? You want a picture down here? Yeah, I thought you might like it. Here, we can all just hang out.
Mom,
Here we
you're
go.
up there.
Oh yeah, Callan.
Seth, you want a picture? Okay. And also we have Timo Bradley. Come on up. All right. And once again, everyone come down for pictures. Good job. Three are. Okay, good job. Aiden Cooper. There you go. Good job. Dawson Hawthorne. Oh, yeah.
Free.
Great job. Good job, everyone. Michael Terry. Woohoo!
Randy, you get a picture too?
A picture? Oh, yeah, that's right. These are here too. We gotta get this right. Noah Gossler. Should I see that right? Just don't help me out first. I have to make sure.
You don't have to tell me that.
Nathan Torres. I love these sweatshirts too. I should have got one of those, right? Mason, you hear sick? How do I say it again?
I tried to help her, but.
You heard sick. Did I do it better? Oh, okay. You just got something. I'm saying. Sorry about that. Good job. Wyatt Wheatley. Not here. Okay, here we go. Shane Burgess. Logan Ripley. Connor Schaefer. Okay, good job, Connor. Riley Edrington. Pictures, so we have to stand here. Hold down and look at my.
Good job, Riley.
Keegan Biro. Okay, but I said it right, didn't I? Okay, Dallas Condrich. Zach Laird. Last but not least would be Kenneth Watkins.
See how this goes.
There.
All right, you want to attempt?
So, what I really important tonight. I was fortunate to watch them, and I was incredibly impressed, not only by their athletic ability, but really their sportsmanship and commitment to each team member is what I noticed. They continually cheered for each other and celebrated your success as a team. And I noticed that when people were out batting, you were really good about supporting whoever was up there. When they're out in the field and made a good play, anybody else was really good about supporting and cheering one. And that's huge. That is a big testament to the coaching staff as well, but to you. And I was really proud of that, and proud that you're representing Granite City School District with that as well. They had a winning season, and they became, here's the kicker, IESA Class 3A Region 16 champions. Everybody around us at least once, right? And so I wish I could have been in more games, but I'm sure I'm going to get to watch them for a little bit longer. So congratulations to all of you. We're really proud.
Let's take a team photo.
Team
We'll try.
photo.
We'll try.
I'm going to get out of this one. I'm going back in. Come on over, guys. Stand.
We gotta do this like we on the field.
Might need to.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough.
I feel like an old man. Oh yeah, we gotta show.
Chuck, can you move that one a little right? Hey, Chuck, can you move that one to your right just a little bit? Yeah, that one. Yep. Yeah, there you go. All right. All right, parents, go ahead. Go ahead. Don't move, guys.
No, move it down and it's upside down.
Hold on. Oh, you got time. We're in no hurry. Oh, yeah, my phone's almost dead. Uh-oh. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys. Good job. Good job, guys. That away. Good job. Congrats. Congrats, guys. Keep it up. Good job. Good job. Good job, guys. Good job. All right. Good job. Good job, man. Congrats. Congrats, coaches.
Parents, we can go.
Congrats, coach. Oh, thank you.
Gonna stay and watch Landon?
Congrats,
Stay and
coach.
watch Landon.
Pictures, we'll make sure each. We're also here tonight to honor another 8th grade student from Coolidge. As a cross-country mom of 2 boys that watch cross-country meets for, I don't even know, 13 plus years, this one kind of close to my heart, and what he did was absolutely spectacular. So we are honoring 8th grade Coolidge student Landon Harris tonight for his persistence and dedication to the sport of cross-country. Come on up, Landon. Mr. Miller as well for all his hard work, and Ms. Tichenal and Mr. Miller up for their coaching. So on October 8th, Landon became the IESA 3A sectional champion, which is in itself an honor. But on October 15th, and this is only, I think we only have a couple state champions in Warrior Brave history, so this is a really big deal. He became the 2022 IESA 3A state champion with a time of 10 minutes, 27 seconds. I want to point out that cross-country athletes kind of live for their PRs. This wasn't even his PR, and he won state. So a personal record is a PR. So it's a field where you sort of compete against yourself and as a team. But the fact that he won the Illinois State 3A championship and it wasn't even your best run is absolutely phenomenal. And I wanted to point that out because that's really important. Isn't your PR 10 minutes? I have it on here. I think it's so. I said he won the state meet running time, which is not even his personal record of 2 miles in 10 minutes. We got it. Also the cross-country team captain and was voted most valuable athlete. Coach Miller and all of us here at Granite City School District would like to congratulate Landon on this spectacular performance and let him know how very proud we are of your accomplishments. So come on up, we're going to do this. Landon Harris family, come on up too. I'm going to present certificates to Landon, so we'll have the mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, come on up. Hang out over here. I think I know this guy too, maybe, I don't know. So we have a couple certificates tonight. The first one is for the cross-country sectional champion with a time of 10 minutes. We'll give you that one first. And this is super exciting to present. This is a certificate recognizing that you run the cross-country state championship class 3A on the 25th of October 2022. We're presenting. So
All right, so can we come together? Couple more.
congratulations. Oh, so it was a great night for Coolidge, I'd say. Yeah. Just a little, right? Good night for that. So thank you all for being here, and I'm so proud of all the athletes and the dedication of the coaches. Thank you so much.
No, it's awesome.
It's awesome. I know, that was a tough Jared's enjoying all these last year, taking it all in.
Wow, that cleared out, didn't it?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, we'll continue on. Thank you again, Ms. Camp, for doing all that. That was fantastic. Wonderful evening, no doubt about it. Congratulations to all the Coolidge baseball players and Landon, our cross-country runner. Well done. Item number 5, minutes. The approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Education held on September 27th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 6, consent agenda. Anything there that you want to say about the gifts?
I could start too with the overnight student trip, Coolidge Junior High School Science Club with Miss Terry Coons. I did ask about that. It is sponsored by the zoo there. It's been done for years. I was assured that it was all safe. I talked to Ms. Heath at the high school just so I felt better, and it sounds like a great time and a great opportunity. Did you go?
I didn't get to go, but I know people who have been on the trip before and they really enjoyed it. They said it was probably one of the favorite things they've done at Coolidge, so.
Okay, great. So I just wondered if someone would wonder, I was like, overnight trip? As a mom, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it, right? So, and then the gifts, it was very exciting. We had an individual donate some money for just social workers. That was really nice. Mitchell had PTA donations. Robbie Steen gave a substantial gift to the golf team. And the Granite City Police Department helped with the wrestling. So that was fantastic. It's always really cool to be able to talk about donations we have from the community and how much they support our school district. So that's really wonderful. So that's all.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
Appreciate that. If there's no questions or otherwise, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Canogo? Aye. Curran?
Aye.
Nunn?
Aye.
Bryant?
Aye.
Stacy?
Aye.
Benny?
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer?
Aye. Item number 8A, rescind retirements and resignations.
It is recommended that the following retirements and resignations be rescinded. Ms. Erin Kinsey, Secretary at the Board of Education Office, effective 6/30/25. Mark Lowell, Principal of Maryville 1-2 Center, effective 6/30/23. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. I think I can do this by acclamation.
I think we can too.
Yeah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Item 8B, retirements and resignations.
It is recommended that the following retirements and resignations be accepted. Ms. Erin Kinsey, Secretary, Board of Education Offices, retirement 8/31/27, and Mark Lull, Principal 1-2 Center, retirement 12/22/22. Its approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Item 8C, requests for leaves of absence.
It is recommended that the following requests for leaves of absence be approved. Ms. Kelsey Mook, life skills teacher at Coolidge Junior High School, effective 1/3/23 to 4/3/23. Ms. Rhonda Nolan Best, second grade teacher at Wilson, effective 10/31/22 to 1/23/23.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Appreciate
I'm
that.
not trying to be a move hog, but I'm trying to.
Yeah, no, hey.
Jump in whenever I like.
Thank you for keeping it
Motion
moving.
hog, I should say.
I got it, but it's,
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I don't have to read it all first.
No, you no. All in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Item 8D, extracurricular assignments for the 22-23 school year.
You have detailed information about this item below. The GCSD9 administration is recommending the following extracurricular assignments for the 22-23 school year. There are quite a few, so I'm not going to read them off. It's 2 pages, but you
So
have
moved.
them to look.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good job, Eric.
No, approval's recommended.
Got a
So
motion by Eric. Did I hear a second? Second. Second by Talon. Thank you. Any discussion?
Just for clarity, these are all lunch duties for the porters, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
except
Except
one.
one for assistant
Except
football.
third.
Gotcha.
That is correct.
Standard
Assistant
kind of
football
things,
coach.
nothing.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, right. Those are lunch duties that we need for supervision during the lunch hour. They're very necessary.
That we have to do on a quarterly basis.
That is correct. Thank you. for
Yeah.
clarifying.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that additional discussion. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Item 8E, certified and classified substitutes.
Detailed information is provided below for this item. It is recommended that certified and classified substitutes applicants be board approved as for the 22-23 school year. We're very happy about this. Certified subs, Alexandria Bivens, Steve Gower, Taylor Kibbert, and Kathleen Vano. Classified subs, Shakita Blake, Rachel Hamilton, Brandy Webb, Alexis DuVos, Megan Harton, Teresa Willis, Shelley Fowler, Kimberly Jackson, Alma Gonzalez Lopez, and Charles Slinkard. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion?
Just that we're very happy.
Yeah, that's great. Fantastic. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Aye.
no. Yeah, I'm sorry, Zach. I apologize.
Everybody count to 2 before you say.
The ayes have it. Item, where are we? 8F,
8F.
employments to the 22-23 school year.
You have received detailed information about this item. The board administration and the interview committee consisting of Mr. Don Harris, Mr. David Keel, and Eric Mitchell request approval to hire Ms. Carissa Warfield as a social worker at ESSC Lake School for the 22-23 school year, pending completion of the certification program, which is December of 22, and submission of her required paperwork, which we are assured that she's finishing school and she's working for us now, so they're very excited to be able to hire her. She was our only applicant.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Item 8F2.
You have received detailed information below about this item, and the board administration and the interview committee consisting of Ms. Mickey Watkins, Mr. Steve Mathis, and Mr. Darren Depew request board approval to hire Ms. Laura Sell, which you might have seen in a recent video, as a special education teacher at Granite City High School for the 22-23 school year, pending her completion of certification program as well, and submission of her paperwork. She's been an excellent employee for us, doing her student teaching here as well, and she did make a video for the district to try to encourage people to apply. So we're excited to be able to have her on in a new position.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion by Eric, seconded by Linda. Okay, very good.
That'll do.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Item 8F3, Title I Paraprofessional.
You've received detailed information about this item below. The board administration and the interview committee, consisting of Dr. David Keel, Executive Director of Operations, and the Frohart Principal Karen Robertson, request board approval to hire Ms. Sherilyn Hackathall as the Title I paraprofessional at Frohart Elementary Center for the 22-23 school year. There was only one applicant for this position as well, and they are thrilled to have her. She's approval is recommended.
So moved. Second.
Who are you giving that one to, Corey?
She's laughing.
Talon is one.
Okay,
Telling you get it.
very good.
There's a race. As you
Any
can see.
discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. And item 8F4, Special Education Paraprofessional.
You have received detailed information also about this below. And the board administration and the interview committee, consisting of Ms. Mickey Watkins, Kristen Navashis Caverna, and Jody Batson, request board approval to hire Mr. Quentin Wiley as a special ed paraprofessional at Grigsby Middle School for the 22-23 school year. Also, we have very few people applying for these, so we are thrilled. They've been great interviews, and we're happy to have them. It's pretty desperate at this point for paraprofessionals in some other positions, so we're really happy to be able to hire these people. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Item number 9, old business. I don't think we have any old business in the past. Item number 10A, SWIC running start.
Yep. We request board approval to enter into an intergovernmental agreement to continue offering Running Start program at Southwestern Illinois College, better known as SWIC. I can read all this if you want. For about 9 years, we have approved an ongoing student participation in this dual credit program at the parent's expense. SWIC has proposed to continue the program with a rate of $4,318 per student per school year. Eligible students will participate in their junior and senior year of high school and would have the opportunity to earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree simultaneously. That's a really good program. SWIC has also agreed to bill the parents directly, which eliminates the district from making payments to SWIC and then requesting reimbursement. It's an excellent program. I'd like to see more students involved. I know that we've kind of talked about that. Some of the high school administration is out here, but how we could maybe bump that up or maybe offer scholarships. We're looking into ways to increase the enrollment in that program.
If I could ask, how many students do you think have taken advantage of this and have earned that associate's degree by the time they graduate?
Over the years?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. What was that, 9 years? Probably close to.
COVID certainly had an impact on
Sure.
the numbers of
The last
the
couple
kids that have
years.
taken advantage of it. Last year we had 5.
I would say probably total, we're approaching 50 or so students that have been able to.
And it's
do
been
that.
about 10 years, I'm
Yeah,
guessing?
close to it, yeah, 9 years, I think,
Okay.
total, but
I
yeah.
think that if we could offer maybe people, if they would want to sponsor a student or do offer some scholarships for that, I think it would be really interesting because I think more students would be able to maybe take advantage.
And I'm sure Dr. Miller would have those
Oh, that's true.
numbers, because she works with that program pretty close.
I can get that for you, so that's.
appreciate that, yeah. It's just such a great program, and great opportunity, and you're right, I just wish more would take advantage of it, and we just, it's parents that are out there, you really should look into this program for your junior, or even right now, sophomore going into the junior year next year, start thinking about this, because it's a great program. To be able to graduate with a high school diploma and an associate's degree at the same time, it really gives you a.
And Ms. Petrillo, could they contact you with that, or who would they contact?
Dr. Miller actually is
Dr.
over
Stacey
that
Miller,
program.
if
They
you go
received
into
an
the-
invite for, information regarding the program in January typically.
Oh, okay, for next year?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then there's a process that Dr. Miller.
Could we
Goes through
work
with
with Mr. Mitchell to get that out there more, maybe a little bit? Through,
Sure.
social media and stuff, I think
Yeah.
that would be great. Okay,
Wonderful.
good. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
I'm gonna give that one to Linda and seconded by Erica, did I hear that? Okay,
Yeah.
very good. And I probably, this all involves money here too, I guess, in some respects. I think, yeah, we'll just do roll calls on these, please. Any additional discussion, by the way? Okay, roll call, please.
Stacy,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
Bryant,
Abstain.
That's right.
and Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 8B.
This is recommended. You have received other information on this before now. The FYI 2022 audits for the Grand City School District and Region 1. They are received under separate cover. Recommendation is requested. Zach Shuri, Mr. Suri, do you have any comment on that?
Nope, they'll be available on our website tomorrow,
Okay.
So moved.
pending approval.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? And I just want to say, because Linda and I looked at these audits a few years ago when they were coming in, and I think a lot of the things that we saw in there before Zach have been taken care of, so we certainly appreciate that. I think the couple of things that are out there is just because it's cash basis accounting versus accrual basis accounting really is what a lot of that comes down
We
to.
talked
So,
about that.
very well done.
He's done a really excellent job.
Thanks, Zach,
He really has.
so much.
Thanks, Linda.
Well done.
Thanks, Zach.
All right, roll call,
No
please.
problem.
Benny,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
Bryant,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10C, creation of Maryville Life Skills Classroom.
I am going to hand this over to Miss Nikki Watkins to discuss, and she has a lot more information than I can to explain.
So we've had a large number of students in the first and second grade life skills classroom. We have students with a variety of ability levels in that classroom as well. So we were asking for permission to be able to split that classroom, which we would then staff with a long-term sub. Then we would also be able to have a paraprofessional in that classroom, as well as the behavior tech that we already have currently on staff. So, the permission that we're seeking is so that we can put a long-term sub in that classroom so that we can better provide services for the students in that classroom.
Because the numbers are not guaranteed to be the same, so that's the reasoning for that at this point. Right now, though, we're in the process of trying to find a long-term sub, so it is pushing that creation back a little bit.
We
Would that
did
be
have a
correct?
long-term sub, but then she was, and
Had some health
she contacted me yesterday to let me know that she will not be able to do it due to some health issues that she's been having. So I've been in contact with HR, they are currently working on identifying, another person to put in the classroom. I think that some of our issues with, the large number of students in classrooms has to do with our inability to be able to place students into outplaced facilities, as they are also struggling with staffing to be able to accept more students. So the best way for us to be able to manage this situation is to split that classroom.
It is a real problem. I know you hear staffing issues everywhere and see signs everywhere, but it affects things. You can just see how those tentacles reach out, and it affects things all the way down the line, and it can be very frustrating. to all involved, but we are working very hard. The paraprofessionals we hired tonight, trying to find and being able to work with Dr. Dixon's group have made it a little easier, but anyone out there wants to be a paraprofessional right now, it does not require the 60 hours or a test for the next 3 years. You can be a temporary paraprofessional and work on getting your information, your 60 hours or your license work keys. We're going to provide some classes on that during that 3 years so you can be certified. So please, if you haven't applied already or you show some interest, please contact the district.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second, any discussion?
I'm just curious, I support this, I'm just curious regarding quality of instruction, so we're going from having a life skills teacher, which yes, the class is big, and then we're going to having a long-term substitute, which may be the best teacher in the world, but how are we going to ensure instructional continuity and quality for both classrooms?
The original person that we identified was a retired life skills teacher, so that was our original plan to do that. So in order for us to ensure that educational continuity, we have, speaking with the other life skills teacher, she has agreed to also be in contact with the other classroom. We have the curriculum set up for them, so they'll be ready to walk in and meet the kids where they're at. We are going to review their IEPs with the teacher. The paraprofessional that would be in the classroom is someone who is familiar with the students already, and the behavior check has already been in the classroom as well. So then there are people who the students are already familiar with and will be comfortable with. And then you will also have the support administration to help them get started off the ground.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good question. Anyone else? Roll call, please, Corey.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
Bryant,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10D, renovation of the GCHS Special Education Foods Lab.
I'm going to read this and then see if she has anything else to add to this, our special director. In order to enhance the ability to address transition-related programming, a renovation of the existing special ed food lab is warranted. The renovation would change the foods lab into an independent living skills lab and include 2 regular kitchen bays, 1 American Disabilities Act kitchen bay, laundry facilities, a living room area, and a pantry. Space is also allotted to incorporate activities to further job exploration, post-secondary education, and community-based agencies to provide services to potentially support students now and after graduation. The construction application has been sent to ISB and approved. The ARP, American Rescue Plan IDEA funds will be used to complete the project, and a blueprint was provided for clarity. And approval is recommended. We're pretty excited. Anything else you want to add?
I think that improving our transition program is paramount for our students. In order, when we upgrade this lab, traditionally it's just been basically foods, just learning how to cook, but there's so much more to independent living than just cooking. So that's why the incorporation of like a living space so that we can do some housekeeping activities. There's also the kitchen bays right now are outdated, and so I would like to have the one kitchen bay be more of an accessible, kind of like we did with the cafe with the adjustable height tables, the under counter microwaves, those types of things. The laundry facilities, everything would be ADA. So not only would it be foods and cooking, but then have a small computer area to where we can do some career exploration activities, also having them looking at and knowing about different agencies that they can be in connection with, and not just for when they graduate high school, but some of these agencies can provide support for some of these students and their families now. So I think that making those connections early, but I think this would be a great way to support them and also fostering their independence and knowing how to self-advocate and to do these activities for their own instead of somebody doing them for them.
I think it's a great opportunity.
Move to approve?
Second.
Second.
Wow, there was no that time. I was
Long, awkward pause.
I'll second it too, none of y'all just.
to it.
I did have a question.
Yes.
I'm sorry that I didn't catch the.
I've got one too after.
Okay. How much are the parents involved in the program? The carrying home of these
activities and skills encouraged in the home setting, so that there's that ability to show, the parents how much they're learning, how.
This will definitely increase parental involvement, especially when we are starting to make connections with outside agencies for that. The parents need to be included in those types of activities before they were begun. So I believe that this will increase our parental involvement in the transition process as well.
And is there an opportunity for the parents to come and experience the actual classroom as it will be set up, so that they get a chance to kind of walk through and see what you have?
As always.
Okay, thank you.
I was curious on the funds, and maybe it's something separate. Is this the room that had a few roof issues or ceiling?
Yes.
Okay, is that a part of that?
No.
We
Okay.
are calling the environmental people out to
Okay.
look through that first.
That is not, I've been in contact with buildings and grounds.
Okay.
Please be in line to know.
We're talking to environmental consultants on that.
Yes, so.
And do we have an idea what the total cost is gonna be of this?
We're putting it out for bid, but we have a dollar amount budgeted.
Okay. And you don't have to say that if we're putting it out for bids.
And it's covered under the idea grant, so that's what's
100%
wonderful.
covered.
Mhm.
Under that,
Very
the
good.
Which is
ARPA.
fantastic, right? That's great.
So the cost is $1 is what you're saying for
Yes.
those who are gonna bid on it.
It's the dollar amount.
Excellent. I do have a motion and a second for that. Roll call, please.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
Bryant,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
Knobel,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10E, contractual autism consultant services.
In order to provide more support for students and teachers, we are requesting that we enter into a contract with Believe You Can Counseling and Educational Services. These services will also be charged to the IDEA Part B grant, and approval is recommended. Any questions would also, because Ms. Watkins is on there tonight, so.
It's special ed, sorry. Sorry. So, with the Believe You Can program, we had Miss Amanda Marty come in to do some 1-hour trainings with our staff during the Institute Day. I believe most of the majority of the feedback that we received was positive with her. She has a long-standing background in working with students with autism. Since we are seeing an increase in students diagnosed with autism recently, I think that having another person in the classrooms to come in to do some observations and to consult with our teachers and staff, just to help to provide that extra support. We have not worked out all the details yet because we wanted to get approval before we worked out any details.
So is this person also going to help with individual students in terms of giving some suggestions and support with some of the problems that may have been noticed but not ironed out, or worked on?
Yes, she can work with them as well. What she would do is, her role would be to observe and to give consultation. We have other people with hands-on going on right now. So I think that having just the extra support of someone coming in and giving our teachers some ideas, or giving families ideas, and helping to support them within the educational environment is what her role would be.
That was the second question I was gonna ask about the family connection with this person.
Amanda's always had strong ties to her communities, and she is currently working in a few other school districts. So I think that it would be beneficial for us to add her to ours.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So moved.
Second?
All right, any additional discussion? Roll call, please.
Nunn,
Aye.
Bryant,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
Knobel,
Aye.
Aye.
Curran, and Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10F, Frohart roof bids.
think I'm gonna hand this over to Mr. Smith. I do know that Frohart was next on our list for immediate need. Do you wanna expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, we had 4 bids. Barch was $1,063,739. Beatty was $1,077,674. Lakeside was $1,356,084. Bi-State was $1,529,000. And with those, we have Beatty right now that's doing our roofs, and they've done a really good job for us. The difference from Beatty's bid and Barch's bid is $13,935. It's my recommendation, really our recommendation, that we go with Beatty because of the quality of work they've done. They've done a lot of extra work for us at Grigsby, as far as removing exhaust fans, covering up the holes whenever it wasn't in part of the bid. They've left those curbs there. They roofed around them. They've patched some work, or did some patch work for us on different buildings at a lower cost. So it's my recommendation that we go with Beatty.
They've been very timely as well.
Very, very timely.
Which is really important for us. We really had no complaints.
None.
What's the time, I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask the same question. Go ahead.
The timeline for when the
Well,
starting.
the reason we're doing bids at this time of the year is so we ensure that we have the roofing products and the material at the time, and that's gonna be next summer. So as he gets those materials in his yard, he's able to purchase those. We'll probably end up paying for those at this time. It'll take him probably 6 months or better to acquire these materials. So that's why we have to do it so early. We're actually, that's doors, everything we're doing now for summertime.
And it was in your plan?
Yes, it's definitely, and we'll be doing this again for another building next year.
Are we experiencing any damage as we?
Right now, Frohart has some very severe leaks in their building. Frohart's probably the worst roof as of right now. There are leaks in that building that we cannot find. We've had contractors on there, we can't find them. With the corrugated metal that the roof sets on, or the roofing membrane sets on, the leak could be anywhere, and it's gonna travel down that metal, and it ends up in room 12 and 13, and it's a mess. So we're hoping to get this done.
So approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Any additional discussion?
Is it possible at all to, like, if things come in and we have some great weather, like over a break or something, I'm just thinking of leaks in the building until summer.
The problem is just getting the material.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna take them that long to get the material. And one thing what we've done at Grigsby, and Coolidge too, we try to get the tear off done so there's no kids in that building. In case there is a bad spot, something does fall through, there's no one in that building. That's why we're trying to do these over the summer.
That makes total sense to me. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Well done. Roll call, please.
Bryant.
Aye.
Stacy.
Aye.
Benny.
Aye.
Knobel.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
Nunn.
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. That item passes. Item number 10G, New Community Solar Guaranteed Savings Program.
Mr. Schooley and I have been working with Chuck Sutton from this group. They have saved us a substantial amount of money, and we just too little. Of course, this not this whole thing that you already have. But since April of 21, we have been participating as a subscriber with 2 community solar projects located within the Ameren service territory. These 2 solar projects are the Ridge Farm Project and the Sandoval Project. Those are solar farms. So they create the electricity and then we buy it through Ameren. The Community Solar Subscription Program has served the district quite well over the past 18 months with more than $42,000 already in net savings through reduced electricity supply costs. We are recommending the approval of new solar guaranteed savings subscription agreements with the Ridge Farm and Sandoval solar projects through their authorized agent, Chicago-based MC Squared Energy Services, LLC, for a 3-year term at a 25% net guaranteed savings to the district, as well as execution of the state mandated community solar APB disclosure forms as provided by the Illinois Power Agency. Approval is recommended. We have been very happy with Mr. Sutton. He is always ready to, we had an hour meeting with him where he explained everything. We've been really pleased with that. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any really technical questions for Ms. Can on this one?
Yeah, this,
I did sit
this
in
is
it for an
very
hour with
technical.
him. I feel pretty good about this. Solar farms, I understand it. It's okay. And this, I really like this company too. With Chuck Sutton, he does a great job. He's always ready to answer anything. He's been great.
On the projected savings on it over
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, it has here, right?
is,
And they are accessible and.
Yeah, it's got
Between
a-
100 and
between $100,000 and $120,000.
Mhm.
That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think it doesn't cost us anything. I mean, it seems like a logical thing to do, and it's a green thing to do as well.
Yes.
So, positive for the environment.
And these are becoming more and more common as these solar farms are popping up.
And more importantly,
Selling.
I think with electricity right now and costs, I think it's a great idea.
Any additional discussion? Roll call, please.
Stacy,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
Knobel,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
Bryant,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10H, creation of truancy homeless interventionist position.
Recently, we just hired Miss Millie Lohman. She was our homeless liaison through the Title I grant. Her salary was paid through them. It's part-time. She moved to the business teacher at the high school, so we have that vacancy. We've also been working with the Madison County Regional Office of Education, Truancy Division, Mr. Tim Reimer, and we have been identified last year and this year again as a very high truant, especially in the younger grades. I see a direct correlation between that and post-COVID, people just not getting used to getting their kids up, getting to school. I rode along with Mr. Reimer a couple times last spring with some truant things, and just to hear what some of the parents were saying and the effectiveness of us going out was pretty amazing. Of the maybe 20 stops we made, I mean, there were 10 of them just by me talking to them and trying to encourage them and do what we can. I think it's really important, at least we start with a part-time person that could fill both these positions, and we just combined it into one to start. And we'll be able to pay for the first couple of years here for this second part of this, the truancy part, through the ESSER grant, because I definitely think it is, partially at least, because of the remote and those types of things. So we are recommending this new position right now, grant funded as well. So I just really think it's important. We have listed the job description here, and we just need permission to post if you all agree with that.
So are we saying that, sorry, go ahead.
Will this job start, I see the steps in here, does it start at step 1?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It will start at step 1.
I didn't know if there was something
And
that
it's 12
somebody
months.
could come in and.
And it's 12 months, so that's right. So, and that's what we used, job for that. So, they will be here. We are looking for an associate degree preferred, but a lot of that is gonna be listed on the posting on the website. if it's approved.
Looking through the requirements and the job description, will a half-time person be enough?
Well, that's it. We're gonna be, it'll be half homeless and half truant. They may.
So it's one full-time position.
One full-time position, but it may bleed over in one direction or another, but we'll see. I think
Depending
that-
on the need.
I mean, I see a larger need for truancy, but right now, we can start with this, and it's grant funded, and we can go from there and see if it makes a difference. And see what, if we do, we can regroup and see what it looks like at the end of the school year, how much of a difference it made, and if we do need to add someone else.
So to clarify again, this is gonna be my question, we have a part-time liaison.
Homeless liaison through the
Does
Title I.
this, are we keeping that
Yes.
plus this full-time
Mhm.
position?
Well, it'll be half and half. They'll be billed half to ESSER, half to Title.
So it's one full-time position billed between two things,
Yep,
so we're not
between
going to have
grants.
a position and a half?
Nope.
This is all one?
Yep.
It kind of, gotcha,
Yep.
thank you. So I was trying to
Sorry, I
get clarity,
didn't-
no, you're fine, I just wanted to make sure I understood.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Great, I think that's good.
Roll call, please.
Benny,
Aye.
Knobel,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
Bryant,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
and Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10I, technology recycling.
This is for Brad, but it's just to, the following was picked up, the list you have by PCs for People and Process for Recycling. We just need to have approval recommended. They have been amazing, the PCs for People, and what they do to help others, technology. I think the library, didn't you work with them?
We've
as well?
talked, yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, yeah.
And like they provided things I said before to our senior center, they provide to a lot of community places, they restore them, they wipe them clean. Brad Smith, you're fine with that, right? Mr. Smith, our technology person?
Yes, ma'am. They also send the necessary certificates for data destruction and such. So we have those, and yes, I'd recommend that this list be approved.
Yeah, the list is a lot of Chromebooks and
Right.
laptops and old stuff that we don't use, and not all of it will be
Desktops.
repurposed, some of it will. But everything will be properly recycled, and all that fun stuff.
Perfect.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Eric. Boy,
I
love
know,
you guys
sometimes
tonight.
they're fast, and sometimes it's just.
Roll call, please.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
Bryant,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
and Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10J, we're getting there, folks.
We are.
We're getting there.
This one's a
I
good one
promise.
too, though. This is
Yeah,
good
this is a
too.
great one.
I
This
know.
is another good night for
Right.
the Coolidge here. Creation of the Coolidge Junior High School Scholastic Bowl Club.
Okay, we are recommending to create the Scholastic Bowl Club at the Coolidge Junior High School. The club will be coached voluntarily for the first 3 years. Brian Welzer, who is a language arts teacher at Coolidge, and Miss Jamie Pamatot have offered to do that, to create a feeder system. Miss Pamatot started Scholar Bowl, somebody correct me, has it been 3 years? Is this the 4th year for Scholar Bowl at the high school?
Longer than that.
It's longer.
Longer.
I thought she it was gone for a while and she brought it back, no? Oh, never mind, okay. Sorry, I thought she brought, well, it's been amazing the last 3 years. They've gone to
they've been
regionals,
going
right? Okay, they've done really well in the last 3 years
Yeah,
under her
that's it,
coaching, just, how about that? That was good. So she'll be, and I love the idea, I was a Scholar Bowl coach for 12 years at my old school, so I kind of have a special place for this. But I think it's another great opportunity for kids and to get them involved, and to move them on then into the high school into that program. So, approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
Bryant,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
and Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. I think that's a fantastic
I
program,
know.
so
It's been
glad
wonderful.
to see that start.
I even offered to moderate.
Is this an after-school program?
Yes.
And do they use it, they have a special room that
They usually go in that teacher's classroom, I know that's what they do.
That's great.
They're kind of fun to go and watch, because some of the stuff that they ask, it's a
That's what I would
miracle.
like to do.
Oh, know that? Like, well, they made us compete last year, like Miss Heath organized and Max, so the faculty competed, we lost. To the kids, but it was fun.
Had a great time.
Yeah, it was great. I think they felt really empowered.
We should do that again in live stream.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I'm in.
Although I did know the
Yeah.
literature.
Item 10K, softball bid approval.
Okay, so we have Mr. Greg Williams here also from SM Wilson. You all received some information in your packet, and it was emailed to you. We received information concerning the bids for this project because they are the project managers. We also had an original bid for the softball field of about 1.5. We did receive a TIF payment to the district from the Sunburst Coke thing, which put us at about $300,000, which is going to allow us to turf the field as well. So I wanted to talk about, I know, great news. And Mr. Williams is here if you have questions concerning the bids on here. And we have also given you something that shows you where the alternates are on here. You're this. And I did want to talk quickly about at the end of this, it points out, here's the very last line of your sheet that looks like this. It says program total with additional alternate 3B wrought iron fencing. That is on there. It was gonna be just something extra, but we have looked into Mr. Moran, Mr. Depew, Mr. Smith, have went around and looked for areas. within the high school, junior high complex, how to ensure the perimeter. So other than chain link at certain places, although I think that would be cheaper, and I am trying to figure out how we can do lighting in the next couple of years, I think it's very important for us to secure the perimeter of the school area as well. So the wrought iron that is existing out in front of the high school, it would look like that. You have that picture, and so that is something as an alternate bid on there that we're looking at as a safety measure. So that is why that is on it.
And when we.
You went out too, sorry,
Yeah,
Eric.
when we talked about it, the wrought iron fencing, I think just is more aesthetically pleasing, than surrounding the school and chain link fence.
Which I've seen other.
You know, makes it look a little like, trying to, I mean, you might as well put barbed wire at the top of it, and, you know.
Some schools have done that in
Would not,
Florida. What is
no,
the,
it would not look good,
would the
right?
difference?
I mean, it just doesn't look good.
Would the difference, Mr. Williams, would it, between wrought iron and chain link would be a significant difference, but I think.
About 80,000. Yeah, it's about 80,000.
But I think just, and it's heavier, I think you're not gonna be able to run into it.
I think you're gonna be a lot
You mentioned that,
happier with it.
Sergeant Stacy, right, that it's actually safer, probably too, to have that.
Yeah, it could be. I
Could
mean,
be
you can
like-
squeeze,
Sure.
a little guy can squeeze through there, easier than like a chain link
True.
fence, but I mean, you're just building layers of security, is all you're doing.
I think the permanence of
It looks
chain
nice.
link.
One problem you'll have with chain link, and you can look along the baseball field and the football field, is where people have tried to climb the fence, and kids have climbed it for baseballs and things. Put their cleats in there and it dents the fence. Well, you would have a whole
Yeah.
campus of
Yeah,
that.
we know.
The wrought iron, you're not gonna have that.
Not happy. Yeah, so I think that that's why
Very
that is.
exactly.
Yes, hi Zach.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Where exactly would the fence start and like end at? I think I was a little confused. I know
They-
you said from sailing to Manio.
about like right
the
here.
intersection where the lights are,
Well,
or is it gonna wrap around
you
towards
didn't-
like the Coolidge parking lot?
Well, you didn't get the picture because he just brought it tonight, so I'll make sure to give this to you.
I
And
can-
it'll
I can
go
email it to you
along
right
Failing-
now.
We can email it to you right now, we'll email it to you right now. But it goes along Failing Road and along Namioki Road, and then it goes down like where the parking lot is for baseball, correct?
Yes.
Right, and goes across and connects to the baseball
Yep.
fence?
Yes.
Right now, so that's where we're looking at the wrought iron fencing, so the front of, before the Coolidge, it ends at the Coolidge parking lot entrance, is that correct?
Yes.
And then it'll go all the way down to Failing Road where CVS is, and it'll go all the way down to the baseball field and the new softball field.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem, we'll make sure you get that. Sorry about that.
Good question.
I have a quick one. I noticed on the drawing, we have, alternate tube water
Yes.
line. I didn't, and maybe, I might have just missed it, didn't see that in the breakdown.
It's listed in
I think it's in there.
add all two, under the earthwork.
Okay, so it is part of the
Provision.
report, okay.
I do,
Yep.
I
Okay.
So you might wanna add that that's
So-
water there too.
So are we turfing the entire field,
Yes.
or the
Yes.
entire field?
Is it wasn't much difference to
Yeah.
do, that's what we talked about, there
Yeah,
wasn't
it
much
was-
difference
it
in
was
price?
super minimal, and the issue
Well, that's what,
came.
I guess that was where I was going with it. How much would it save us if we turfed the infield and the outfield was grass?
Yeah, it was a minimal difference, and the
pricey.
problem is the scheduling of it, because we would have to get the outfield graded and seeded
Yeah.
and growing grass before the beginning of the
Okay.
school year, before the beginning of the season. So it kind of made the schedule a little bit messed
Yeah, it was
up, and
minimal.
it
Yeah.
really, honestly, yeah, it was a minimal
We talked about
cost
it.
difference.
I was like, oh, that'd be cheaper, and I, oh.
Well, and then, yeah, there's, irrigation issues.
Another thing we looked at is just
Operations, maintenance.
overall maintenance.
Yeah.
You know, with, if it's all turf, everything inside of that fence, we don't have to bring a lawnmower in there, we don't have to worry about a lip eventually between the turf and the grass. That would have to be addressed, so this one here, there's none of that.
That's the last sport too at the high school that isn't on within our campus, so I like the idea of being able to have them, everyone on campus now in that big facility, sports facility. I think it'll be very nice. And we can keep adding, we can add lighting when we get that, and some of the stuff we can do, some of our guys can do, some of maybe the paving of the parking lot, we can maybe do on our own as well. well. So that's why those are all bids, because we knew we could afford this, but not all the extras at first. But we can get it, the main part started and then go from there. So approval.
So we're looking to approve this,
Mhm.
the number, okay,
Because we
so
haven't
moved.
started.
Second.
That's exciting.
Motion and a second. Any additional discussion or questions?
I guess I just wanted to feel like the security, we still have there'll be, enough security with that kind of wrought iron fencing.
I think so. How tall is it?
It's more than we
6
have.
foot.
I mean, it's
More
more
than
than we have now.
True.
Yeah, so.
It's 6 foot, it's what's
It's
in
6
front of the high
foot,
school,
Linda.
and
That's good
you're not
to
gonna
know.
scale
That's a
that
good
very
point.
easy.
Yeah, on the Madison Avenue side?
Yes, I think that makes sense. We're gonna
And
finish that.
really, no matter if you went with wrought iron or chain link, you can climb chain link, you know, it's actually probably harder to climb the wrought iron. And
It's
you're
layers.
just, once again, you're just building layers of security. I mean, short of building a castle around that, you know, a stone wall around it, you know, you're not, you know, you're just building that layer.
Moat, that would be.
A moat.
Yeah,
A
I think that'd be cool, but,
That might be one of the first that I've ever done.
Water feature, yeah,
What do you
there you
think?
go.
I like
You
it a
guys
lot.
help us with that? The street grabs can help us with that? Beautiful. Ooh.
One more thing real quickly, I just got the picture, thank you for it. Is it going to affect I know the turfing of the football field might help with this, but is it going to affect the practice soccer field out there at all, or is that gonna end, will the outfield fence end before that field?
It'll end before that field.
Yes, and that was part of the master planning
That
of
was
it,
part of
was
that
to make
master
sure
plan we did
that
for the sports facility. Good
yeah, to
question.
make sure that it was not affected.
I like that, actually, the safety of that, where the balls aren't going out into the street and they're running out, but just from a physical standpoint, I like the idea of that berm and that fencing being there as well.
Good question. All right, I think we got a motion in a second, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Nunn,
Aye.
Bryant, Stacy,
aye.
Benny,
Aye.
Knobel,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 11A, Institute presentation.
Do you want to do the FOIA first real quick?
Yeah, we can.
Could I do FOIA real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. We were speaking, I heard from Mr. Schooley and your firm that we don't have to read these all out. We can just say, we received 3 requests under the Freedom of Information Act during the period of September 21st, 2022 through October 17th, 2022. And all these requests were handled by the administration, meaning AKA Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Chris, we appreciate it. Very good. And we don't need action on that.
Nope, and then we can do, we're excited about this tonight. When I talk, okay? I went to our district PD day, and on the list, the menu of things that teachers could go and watch or listen to under professional development, I was intrigued. All of a sudden, I was completely drawn, because I was a former high school teacher, right, to a presentation that 2 of the students, one of them being our student board member and the other being Mr. Lucas Hutchings, talking about how stressful and how things can affect students at high school, and how teachers can maybe be more in tune to that and maybe help understand it better. And I thought it was so good. And the fact that they got up in front of everyone, teachers included, and were willing to share this. They were very vulnerable in it. I think it's excellent. So they've shortened it. But I thought it was really important for you to see at least a part of it. They did a lot of research. So they're going to do like a little 10-15 minute thing on a brief, because it was almost an hour. So I'm really excited when students can come in. They love the title, and I sat through it and it was wonderful. So you're on. Caitlin Liniger and Lucas Hutchins.
Smile.
You're on camera. Let's not stand in.
So, hi, my name is Caitlin Leniger, as Ms. Cannon introduced me. We are going to be talking about the modern struggle and stresses of being a student, and we are both students at Granite City High School. I am a senior, personally, so.
And I'm Lucas Hutchings, I'm a junior at GCHS. I know some of you realize that being a student is hard sometimes, but some of you don't. We want to make it super apparent that student lives have been changing a ton within the last few years, and that they can be super stressful.
We both realize that we are not teachers, and we do realize that teaching can also be a super stressful job. However, we're both students, so we would like to share some insight into how our lives as students are. We'll be sharing data that was gathered on a national level, and then we'll go on to sharing data that we gathered at GCHS through a survey.
We initially chose this project because we both feel that some teachers do not understand the stresses of modern high schoolers. We may have some advantages, but we also have many stressors that we will be discussing. On that note, let's get started.
It doesn't want to work, I guess.
Go ahead and.
Yeah, just click on the.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, now you should be able to.
Okay,
Just tell
so
me when to change it for you.
thank you. We are going to start off this project by looking at some data that can be found on national and international levels. This data can vary a lot, but we mainly looked at data that was collected within the 13 to 20-year-old age range.
We're going to compare data from 2013 to now. First, we're going to look at a statistic from the American Psychological Association. The statistics collected in this survey were mainly from 2013. The APA reports that teens reported that their stress levels during school year far exceeded what they believed to be healthy, 5.8 versus 3.9 on a 10-point scale, and topped adults' average reported stress levels, 5.8 for teens versus 5.1 for adults. 31% of teens also reported feeling overwhelmed and depressed or sad as a result of stress. 36% of teens reported feeling tired, and nearly 23% reported skipping a meal due to stress.
However, even today, the mental health crisis that stems from stress is still super relevant. Springer made reports that teenage anxiety has increased within the past couple of decades. Between 2012 and 2018, the amount of teens that tested positive for anxiety increased from 34.1% to 44%. This was the most rapid increase of teenage anxiety within 6 years. Some factors of this anxiety can range from current world events, politics, social media, but most importantly, the pressure to succeed.
The New York Times had an article written about this. Even though students are considered to be more educated, they have highly alarming rates of depression, anxiety, and suicidal behaviors. In 2019, 13% of students reported having major depressive episodes. This was a 60% increase from 2007.
Forbes magazine also added to this conversation, stating that 58% of students are very concerned or somewhat concerned about their own mental health and equally their own emotional health. 39% of students disagree that their mental health needs are being met at school. That being said, let's talk about the impact of stress for a brief moment. The Mayo Clinic discusses some negative impacts of stress being headaches, chest pains, upset stomach, or emotional outbursts.
Other effects can include withdrawing from social events, overreacting, or undereating. When some people feel stressed, they might even turn to drug or alcohol use. We all know that none of these effects are healthy, especially on students. Another major impact that some people experience is suicidal thoughts. In 2020, the Psychology and Education Journal discussed a phenomenon known as test anxiety. Pakistani students who are highly pressured by their parents to get stellar grades got so stressed to the point where they think about committing suicide.
Another thing we would like to discuss is a concept called the well-rounded student syndrome. So, what does it mean to be a well-rounded student? I'm sure many of you can think of a few kids as soon as I said that. A well-rounded student, by definition, is a student who has a wide array of interests and attributes about them that make them stand out. While being a top academic student is another way to be considered a good student, being a well-rounded student does not rely on it.
While being a well-rounded student is an amazing thing and can help kids who don't make perfect grades have a competitive edge when it comes to the college application process, it can also be super stressful for students. Being involved in multiple activities or having a job on top of completing hours of homework can be super overwhelming.
Another thing that isn't helpful is that when we talk about how stressful it can be with our teachers, some teachers respond by telling us that it's our fault for choosing to join so many activities or having a job. But as previously mentioned, many colleges now look for well-rounded students.
We as students shouldn't feel shame for participating in activities that we enjoy. We also shouldn't feel shame for having a job. Being a well-rounded student is important in today's society and should be fully supported and celebrated.
Let's start with some of our student-based research that we conducted. We felt that it was valuable to hear from other students in the student body, so the next part of our project involved a survey that we sent out to them.
We asked a variety of questions that you will see on the screen here shortly. The questions range from mental health to circumstances regarding their personal life. We had 119 responses. Now that may not seem like a lot, but this is roughly 10% of our student body. We also want to remind you of the external research we did that relates to these issues.
The first question that we asked is, do you feel overwhelmed at school? 79.8% of students responded with the answer yes. We were shocked that such a high number of kids felt overwhelmed at school. We also asked, do you ever feel like some of your teachers don't understand you? 56.3% of students answered yes. If a student feels like they aren't being understood in the classroom, how are they supposed to feel connected to their schoolwork?
We went on to ask if students wished their teachers knew what they were going through. 80% of these students responded yes. Similarly, 92% of students think their teachers will benefit from knowing about different student struggles. Because of all this, we asked them, do you have circumstances that make it hard to complete?
So, along with the answers that are on this slide, another student replied, last school year in November, I had surgery. I missed school for 3 days before surgery and 11 school days after surgery because I had COVID. I returned to school for 3 days. Oh, sorry, I just read over that part. I returned for school for 3 days before contracting COVID and strep throat. This caused me to miss another 10 school days. Throughout this time, I was denied virtual testing and I was instead expected to test when I had returned to school. I took an exam after I had returned and scored higher than the majority, which led to suspicion of academic dishonesty. I was accused of cheating and was forced into an oral examination in which I passed. This student went on to say how they felt embarrassed and that this situation was hard on them.
That moment must have been super embarrassing for that student and really hard to go through. Speaking of embarrassing moments, a number of students felt like they had been embarrassed by a teacher. You can take a moment to read the responses on the screen.
So I'm going to give you guys a second to look at that. I know we're like blowing through some of these. To continue on another note, students have a lot of various stressors. The bar graph that is showed here showcases how students responded to what they defined as a stressor. As you can see, the top answer was school, followed by friend-related issues and family-related issues. Since we thought school would be a top defined stressor, we decided to ask students to rate their stress on a scale of 1 to 5. As you can see on the next slide, these are student responses, 1 being least stressed and 5 being most stressed. A majority of students answered 4, meaning that they feel high levels of stress, but it may not be at the highest point yet.
A lot of these statistics must seem super shocking to some, but I know personally they aren't that surprising to me. With all this stress, I wonder if this is affecting people's sleep. In fact, Baylor College reports that high levels of stress impair sleep by prolonging how long it takes to fall asleep and fragmenting sleep.
Many students don't get enough sleep that they need. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine recommends that teenagers aged 13 to 18 need roughly 8 to 10 hours of sleep. However, when we asked how many hours of sleep do you get at night, in our survey, only 3 students stated that they get 8 or more hours of sleep. Of all those stressing factors, you have to wonder, how do people manage their stress? The number one response that we received was, I cry. It is super upsetting to know that a lot of students feel so overwhelmed and stressed at times that they feel the only solution is to cry about it. Keeping this in mind, we know stress can reach outside of school too. So we were curious if students have life circumstances that might prevent them from doing schoolwork.
Knowing about other people's struggles in life really helps open your eyes. I know reading some of these answers helped me open my eyes to other people's situations that I didn't even know about. For example, a lot of kids talked about having to watch or care for their siblings for long hours at night. Some students shared how they wish they had more time to complete homework most days. Another factor that we saw is many students didn't have time to complete homework because they have a job. As you can see on this slide, 42% of students who replied to our survey reported that they have a job. While 51% said they take the job for extra money, 27% reported they work so they can support themselves, 7.8% of students said that they work so they can help support their family, then 13% of the students that responded said they had a job because of all the above reasons.
To continue on, we listed these statements on the board that students agreed with. We also inserted the percentage of students that agreed with these statements right next to each individual one. I'll give you guys a few seconds to look over that. So we're gonna move on then.
We have some ideas on ways educators can improve their classroom. These ideas are coming from us and students. They can easily be implemented in a classroom, some you can even implement tomorrow. The first idea is improving study guides. For quizzes and tests, having a filled out study guide does not help very much. What I've found helps a lot is a study guide with 50-50 filled out with 2 problems each. For example, a 20-question math review with 10 fully worked out problems and work shown, and 10 blank problems for students to do themselves. This allows students to see how it's done and then lets them do it themselves.
The second idea we had to improve classrooms is the way classrooms are weighted. Some classes are heavily reliant on one grade, such as a midterm essay or a test. However, if you aren't the best essay writer or not a great test taker, you might not have the greatest scores on these assignments. It might even take you until the end of the semester to fully recover your grade again. This can easily be prevented if you provide students with many opportunities to increase their grades and don't make class reliant on one project or one test. Plus, if you make homework worth more than 1 or 2 points, it might help increase kids' grades and it might even make them more motivated to do it. Sometimes people don't want to do their work if they know it won't majorly affect their grade.
The third idea is helping students when needed. We know tutoring is available, but some students are unable to come to after-school tutoring. While you might suggest peer tutoring, some students may not be able to teach the exact method a teacher does. You can offer them help during study hall, warrior time, or before school. You can also help students by making sure they understand the material in class. For example, having students answer questions or do problems on the board and guidance can be beneficial. Then, if they do not understand it, you can address the issue there and help explain it to them more carefully and clearly.
The fourth idea we discussed is returning quizzes and work sooner rather than later. It can help students realize what to improve on and what they need to work on before their final test in that subject.
Our fifth idea is taking a break in class. We know that this isn't realistic to have a break every day, but having a 5-minute break in between work to allow students to digest the material they learned can be beneficial. One last piece of advice I would like to share is a quote I've heard. Be someone whose class you want to be in. It might sound corny, but it's true. I know many teachers who initially thought that they didn't want to teach, but one teacher changed their mind.
It is super important to have a connection with students because that's how they learn and grow. It can also help motivate students to do more work and understand material. Building connections between students and teachers is important because some kids really need that guidance. Who knows, maybe you can inspire someone to teach one day.
We really want to thank you for sitting in on this presentation. I know it might seem like we're being super critical, but we just wanted to share some insight from a student's perspective. We both appreciate all of what the teachers do for us.
Yes, we really appreciate all the staff at GCHS and everyone who's worked with us, and we know it's really hard, but thank you guys for listening to us, and I hope everyone enjoyed this and was able to take something away.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. That was absolutely fantastic. That was just a little bit. They had a ton of research. It was incredibly well prepared. And they cut that down. That was really good. They picked a lot of the good points. They did a great job.
I don't know if you received feedback from any staff members, but I was at my own school's institute and my phone was literally blowing up. Like I had like 10 different people telling me about your presentation. My husband, who acts like a school for everything, was raving about your presentation.
That makes me so happy. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
so
thought
it
was
was
great.
really well received. And again, like it's sometimes when you give presentations like that, you don't know like did they connect with it, did they take away from it? But again, I heard from a variety of different kinds of teachers too that were texting me and telling me how impressed they were with you. So thank you, and I see why. Thank you for that.
And I think how importantly it is we can inspire others to teach. I know that I was a high school teacher, and that's something that was always important, making connection and being there for that student. It's a very important job. I can't over stress how important teaching is and what it can do for kids. One caring adult can make the difference in a child's life. So,
I think everybody, I completely agree with everything that you've said, and I'm alert to many of the things that you brought up. I, was impressed and affected by a teacher that I had, and it turned my life around. So I know what you mean, and we, you have teachers that some students are drawn to, and I think that's important, that those teachers be open enough to, accept, a student who needs maybe a little encouragement, or be told that they're doing a good job, that there's a lot of potential, they have a lot of talent. That's just so important, and it happens in a school situation where it's really important for that student to be, given that reassurance. So, thank you so much.
And you two have a lot of talent, bravery and great courage to get up and to talk about this and to make a difference. So thank you again.
Well done, very well done. And school, high school, I know is so much different today than when I graduated 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
So I appreciate the insight, because that certainly is very helpful. Just all the things that you had there, and I wish I would have seen the full presentation.
Oh,
So.
it was excellent. Did anybody record it?
I don't think so.
We probably should have done it, because it's a shame. We'll make them do it again.
We did record this though, so
Oh,
we'll have
that's
those.
good. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you both very much. Great job.
That would be relevant at the community college also.
Oh, it would.
It would most definitely.
That's a good
But you
thing.
can
If they're relevant to the community college students there and what they go through, it'd be interesting when you move on.
Yeah.
Follow up
Thank you.
presentation they're going to give.
Right.
Right.
When she comes back. So Lucas can help because he's a junior. So. Right.
Excellent.
I know, I was really impressed. I'm glad to hear about that feedback. That makes me.
Very good. Item number 11C, discipline of student.
Okay, you've received detailed information about a student under separate cover below. The administration is recommending a 2-year expulsion from October 25th, 2022 to October 25th, 2024.
So
That
moved.
information is below.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Bryant,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
Knobel,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
and Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. We had an item on, that's not there anymore, executive session. So we have no executive session, and we do have executive session minutes, however. Item number 13A, approval of the executive session minutes of the special meeting of Board of Education held on September 27th.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please. You guys are waiting on me, I'm sorry.
Everyone's
Just
just
kinda
looking
sit
at
here,
you like,
zoning out.
You out, Dennis.
Sorry about that.
sometimes
Roll
it
call,
happens.
Serious call.
I should have hit him underneath the table.
Knobel,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
Brian abstain. Stacy,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
and Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. And item number 13B, approval of the executive session minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Education held on September 27th.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn,
Aye.
Brian abstain. Stacy,
Aye.
Benny,
Aye.
Knobel,
Aye.
and Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Setting the agenda for November 15th, 2022. Anything special that we have?
That's so special.
I'm sorry, for the next regular board meeting you're saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. With so many, band students?
We have a plan.
I started saying, I was gonna say, do we wanna move it to?
I have a plan. I don't wanna give it away. It's a pretty cool plan, because those of you that don't know, our band, the Marching Warriors,
Right.
were amazing and won Class 5A at the U of I Championship. So we're going to recognize them at the next board meeting, also with a teacher that received the Emerson Excellence in Teaching Award as well. We're looking at maybe a venue change.
Location, right, okay, that's what I was getting at. I was like, all the band members are not gonna fit in this room.
I did take them cookies today. They were happy.
Good.
Excellent. We probably will have a special board meeting on November 1st, I think. Did everybody get that email? And then we also have some training coming up too, I think.
Yes, the 21st.
21st? Okay, very good. Anything else to come before the board tonight? Very good. I will accept the motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Time is